Think about a district which is known viewing by the world, rewritten history with its ancient cities, where you feel tolerance even in the air you breathe, and having enough fertile lands to get its first settlement in the 2000 BC. It is Buldan. Throughout the history, Persians, Phrygians, Silas, Lydians, Luwians, Hittites, Romans and Byzantines dominated Buldan. There are lots of rumors about the meaning of the name Buldan. The first one is Buldan village, which is dated to Kaş, Yenice in the book of Muhasabe-i Vilayeti Anadolu, which was written in 1530. It is figured that the ancient city of Tripolis was called Apollonochiron in an English source, and the word of Buldan came from Apollonos. In the language of Luwians, who dominated the region, Buldan means wetland and sheltered area. Buldan's economy has based on weaving since very ancient times. Almost all varieties of fabric are weaved in Buldan. In the rural areas, table grapes, chestnuts, thyme, and besides apples, strawberries, tobacco, and vegetables are also important in the economy. Buldan's historical houses are protected with all their specialties. With the scope of the protection, the whole free neighborhood of Buldan and nearly 200 historical Buldan houses, which were built individually, were taken under protection. Properties with many historic homes to be found their houses located higher in Turkey. Eaves and chimneys, porch carry a distinctive beauty. The chandeliers are uniquely beautiful. The fact that the houses do not cover each other during their protection is the most special detail. The first knots in the Anatolian lands began to be looped on the primitive hand looms in the 6000 BC. The ancient woven pieces obtained in the excavations in Çatalhöyük is the biggest proof of this. Later on, weaving showed great developments in the Hittite, Phrygian, Lydian, Persian, Roman and Byzantine civilizations. We see Buldan weaving in Ibn Battuda's travel book in the earliest 14th century in written sources. In his Ibn Battuda's travelogue, it is made of cotton gold processing fabric in Buldan, and there is no other example of cotton fabric. Due to the strong curvature of high-quality cotton, the fabrics are long-lasting. This fabric is referred to by the name of the town, he said. Before Osmanoğulları settled in Bursa, it was written in the historical records that they obtained fabric from Buldan by means of Germiyanoğulları. After the establishment of the Ottoman Empire, they provided some of the fabric needs of the palace from Buldan. The best example of this is the skivvy of Ertuğrul Gazi, which you can see in the Topkapı Palace, and the shawl of Barbaros and Genç Osman's church were weaved in Buldan. The weaving in Buldan continued to be done by the hand lathes, and in 1910 a sailor named Osman Say brought a drove of bellows from Istanbul to Denizli. Thanks to him, Buldan had the chance to benefit from the most advanced looms. Cotton, silk fabrics and tolerance fabric were woven in the looms. Especially, the story about tolerance fabric is interesting. The weavers from Buldan before the 1950s in these years, the weaver named Süleyman Tansöker, who wants to evaluate the yarn and silk in his own years, creates a new type of weaving mixing silk and cotton yarn. His wife gets angry and she said, "What did you do, Süleyman? Who takes this fabric?" And his response was that, "My dear wife, tolerate just this once." And this fabric is known as tolerate fabric for many years, which is a good source of livelihood to the weavers from Buldan for many years. This cloth, which is woven with a frequently twisted cotton yarn and a floss silk, gives an interesting appearance with the shrinkage of the cotton yarn after the exit from the bench and the constant standing of the silk. It's a very suitable for fabric, especially for summer years. Tolerance fabric had added a different wealth to the city of tolerance, Buldan. Since 1951, motorized machines have come to Buldan and accelerated the weaving sector. Each house transformed into a weaving workshop in Buldan, and with approximately 4,000 motorized looms, Buldan became the capital of weaving. Especially after the 1980s, after the technological developments in the textile sector, production began to gather in some hands step by step, and the old weaving looms, which became primitive in time and unable to work, and the number of them became less and less. Today, only about 400 of them work. Accordingly, the production in the houses has fallen to a level that is not almost existent. However, within the latest technology weaving looms, the production amount has increased considerably. The ancient city of Tripoli is on the edge of Büyük Menderes River, which is located within the boundaries of Yenikent district of Buldan in the northeast of the fertile Çürüksu plain. Although the history of Tripolis as a city was based on the Hellenistic period, the archaeological material obtained from the surveys carried out at the Hamambükü and Yenicehöyük, located in the east and southeast of the city, were the late Neolithic, early Chalcolithic periods, when it proves that it dates back to 5500 BC. The unique beauty of Buldan district, which is located at the elevation of 1150 meters above sea level, is a protected area that every traveler coming to the region has definitely visited. It is understood that there is not much lake depth, with the presence of water lilies in the lake and the growing of trees in the 15% of the lake area. In the lake, which is a place for migratory birds, carps and broadcast fishes maintain their lives. Wild animals such as hare, pig, arrow hedgehog, badger, mallard duck, white pelican and clumsy are frequently seen around the lake. There are 95 plant groups around the lake. 2 of them are endemic. 62 species live around the lake and 33 of them hang on the lake or on the lake floor. The lake and its surrounding within the first-degree natural protected area are used as a touristic campsite. There are some important people born in Buldan and contributed to Turkey. The most important of them is Merkez Efendi. He was commemorated in Mesir Puti festivals every year in Manisa. The graves of Merkez Efendi's parents were in the neighborhood of district headquarters of Buldan, which was renamed Merkez Efendi Sarıarmutlu district. A charity meal is organized on behalf of Merkez Efendi in the plateau of this neighborhood. One of the other important person born in Buldan is Dr. Behçet Uz. He served as mayor of Izmir in 1931, Ministry of Commerce in 1942, and Ministry of Health in 1946. Think about a district which is now viewing by the world, rewritten history with its ancient cities, where you feel tolerance even in the air you breathe, and having enough fertile lands to get its first settlement in the 2000 BC. It is Buldan.